The thing is, before we did numbers like this, we were stuck as well for a very long time. And the thing for us was that we didn't get enough leads in. This is like the problem for sure for most fitness coaches as well, stuck at like 10K. Not getting enough leads into the business. They are struggling with not having enough profit because of that. And they are having high risk because of expenses, because of like some months you get more clients and some months you get less when you have an online coaching business, especially when you haven't nailed content. And like for most coaches, everything boils down to content. And the problem is that they truly don't enjoy creating the content or know exactly how they should create the content. And what happens then? The coaches go to growth operators or agencies. They come into your business and they take control over all of these things, or they just end up trying to copy other coaches, or they put in less effort. This is what I did, less effort in my content. I just tried to improve my sales skills, like hiring a team, all of these things, and none of it worked. None of these things actually worked. We didn't get any more profit. Actually, we just got less profit from doing this. And I still fucking hated creating content. But as you know, of course, this has changed. Like we did 30K, so 30K a month. We had a day with 9K. We had our 23.5K USD closed in a week, 12K only from the DMs. And like the difference from before is absolutely insane. Probably the biggest difference is that I actually enjoy creating content again. But there was a long way to figure that out. And basically I just created now from all my lessons, I've created like the method behind all of it. So it's called the magnetic method. And there's 3 steps to that. It's start with your story, own your difference, like finding your uniqueness. Basically, I'll walk through each one of these. And lastly, it's become the obvious choice. And this was like when I set out to become a coach, this was like, I wanted so bad that clients should come to me. And it's crazy because in the beginning, we posted like this shit. I was so inconsistent. I didn't have like the most important part in place. I was inconsistent. So I just posted like once a week, twice a week. We didn't get any clients. Like I had 5 clients forever. Then we started posting daily. And I just posted things I thought was interesting, right? So suddenly I was growing like at a crazy speed. Probably one of the fastest growing coaches in Norway at the time. I had 12 to 15 clients coming every single month, all from inbound. I didn't outreach. I didn't even do DMs at this time. Then I had the issue with getting too many clients. So my obstacle suddenly became the delivery, right? So then I thought, okay, let's hire. We could just hire for all roles. I hired for sales, for DMs as well. And what happened to our profit then? Our profit went to shit, right? We didn't have shit profit. I went from doing like 8K profit every single month to literally doing like 2K. So what did we think then? Oh, we need to increase the price. But our niche, they don't seem to have the money for increasing the price. So let's just go into the biggest market of all, losing weight. But the problem here is the major problem, and this is why this is so important. When I switched to weight loss, I haven't lost weight ever in my fucking life, right? I lost weight. When you met me, I was losing weight, right? But it was like 6 to 8 kilos, something like that. And that was just to test it. I never cared about losing weight. Like actually, I've always cared about building muscle, like eating my protein, and thought supplements and science and stuff like that was really cool. Like Jeff Nippard and if you know who that is. But basically, I stopped producing the science content and started talking about weight loss. And I started fucking hating content. Like, I went from speaking about only things that I truly enjoyed to starting to produce the organic content completely from things that I had to force. It wasn't me, it wasn't my story. I just tried to fit in with a niche, and everyone tells you, like coaches gets told to niche down. Like you should niche down. But the thing is, what you actually should do is start with your story. And it went like this for a very long time for me. I just kept kept on swapping niche to try to get more money. Like I always thought the niche was the problem, or that I needed a new ad strategy or whatever. But the truth was that I just stopped producing content that I actually enjoyed. I didn't enjoy it anymore. And I think you remember like the difference as well from when you met me in 2024, when I produced only content that I loved, right? And then we had like just 1.5 years of producing content that I didn't love, content that didn't feel like me. You saw the difference on me, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so I was like obviously not enjoying it, obviously not enjoying the business. And what happens when you don't enjoy the front end, like the fundament of the business, this part where all of the leads actually come into your profile? And when you get the wrong leads, guess what happens? This is probably even worse. You get them into your delivery. You have to deliver to the wrong clients as well. But it all could have been fixed if I had these 3 steps. If I had these 3 steps at the time, the life I had in 2025 would be completely different. But then again, the thing that happened taught me how to make this, taught me how to create the magnetic method, and now I can help other people with that. So this changed in 2026 when I realized that the major difference from 2024 and 2025 was that I fucking hated producing content, because it never felt like me. It felt like I tried it's like doing sports when you try to impress your dad rather than doing sports because you fucking love playing football, right? You're not going to enjoy it as much if you just try to impress your dad. And what happens if you do well and he doesn't even get impressed? Like, you're going to try even harder. You're just going to stress. But when you truly enjoy playing football, then you're going to get really good at it. Because you're going to play so much, you're going to spend so much time doing it. That's actually the Norwegian sports philosophy as well. Anyways, starting with story, what does that even mean, right? So you look at the timeline of your life. Not your life, of your journey. And then you look at the periods that you were stuck. You figure out who you were at the time and how you solved it. How you solved it is going to be your solution. That's your offer. That's the thing that a coach would use, right? So that's how I, for example, solve the problem of coaches now. I've looked at my timeline. I've looked at how I came across my struggles when I was stuck. And I've made that into the magnetic method. And who was I? Who was I? Like, what was my thoughts? What did I think about? Feelings, problems. What did my days look like? What did I enjoy? What did I like doing? What was my dreams? Like, this is the best thing to ask in the beginning, right? It makes sense because here you are actually finding someone that is the old you. They're going to relate to your life, right? Rather than me trying to find someone like I did before. I tried to find someone, find a niche. Because how can they ever relate to me? They can't. I can try to force myself to seem like a person that they can relate to. But there's going to be someone else out in that market who they can relate 100% to. And if they don't love the person you are, if they don't truly love your story, resonate with your story, then they will always compare you on price, on deliverables, and basically just they compare like the programs, right? Rather than seeing a person. And look at it like celebrities. If you had like your favorite celebrity and you had another celebrity who has equally the amount of money or fame or whatever, and someone asks you who do you want to spend the day with, there wouldn't be no doubt, right? Or if there was like concert tickets and it was the same day, even though your favorite artist would have concert tickets and it would be double the price, that's who you would go to, right? You wouldn't just think, I want to go to a concert. I want to go to the fucking concert that my favorite artist has. It's going to be the same thing when people truly relate to you. They want to work with you. And this is also going to let you, again, decide how. What was the turning point for you? So the turning point, what did you figure out? What did you learn? And you want to look at the struggles you had into turning point, into after state. So before state, after state. You're going to look at the before state and after state of you as a person in all these different periods. And you're going to decide on, okay, which of these periods am I best suited to help right now? then you have your niche. You have the who that you want to target. And you have the solution. You have the how, right? So we're not completely done with the solution yet. So there will be like more steps to this. It's going to make a ton more sense. But the second step here is owning your difference. And look at it like this. You have 2 different rooms, 500 different people here. So when you played football before, you have this room with 500 people. And then you have this room with 2 football players. And there's like a talent scout looking for new people, right? So on both of these, there's going to be a talent scout, basically. Which of these 2 would you choose to be in to try to get scouted for the football team?
The room with 2?
Yeah, because that's where you can stand out, right? That's the easiest to be the best. You're easily going to be able to be the best, like unless you're very unlucky with who you get in the room with. You're easily going to be able to be the best in a market of 2. This is the market. But in the market of 500, there's a very big chance that one of them is better than you, and the talent scout takes them instead, and you're fucked. So this may seem like a stupid example, but it's the same thing with when people choose people for who they want as the coach, or artists as well. You want to find your uniqueness. The best way to explain this is that this will be like losing weight. I help people lose weight. Now, everyone could say that. It's fucking boring, right? But your uniqueness to it. I help people lose weight. And let's say your story is losing weight without restricting food. Or a crazy one, like without tracking calories. You could just use that as your unique angle, and suddenly you're in a room with just a few other coaches. So the people that now see you and they think, I fucking hate tracking calories. I want to lose weight without tracking calories. Who are they going to choose? Are they going to choose any of the other coaches, like from the other room? Of course not. They're going to choose from this room, and there's only you and maybe a couple of other people in that room. So there's a much bigger chance that you get chosen and they start watching you. They don't get 500 different people that they have to watch. So this is going to make it a lot easier to build influence over that person, and over time get them as a client. So how do you actually find your unique angle? Well, this is what you do. What are you good at? First of all, like what are you actually good at? From looking at your journey, what are you good at? What are you going to help people with? Again, I tried helping people with losing weight. And I fucking hate it. Like, weight loss is not my thing, because even though I could help people do it, I could never relate to it because I didn't want to lose weight. But building muscle and getting stronger. So I should have done get strong, get fucking strong. That's what I should have helped with. And this I could relate to. And then you want to look at, okay, what is everybody else doing? So everyone else, write a list of 10 things. And then you look at how do you do all of those things different? What's your unique edge? How do you help people get strong better than most other coaches? You should look at like the general mass of coaches, the coaches that you try to make a difference from, and then write your list. How do you do that different? Now it's going to be a lot easier to do 2 things. Number 1, what's your unique angle? So for example, for me, get fucking strong, and I could do with only deadlifts, something like that, with only base lifts, like compounds, it's what it's called. This could be my unique angle, and it's going to help you solve the solution. So finishing the solution, the offer that you have. So with only base compounds, and you know what help they actually had, what your turning point was, now you could just set up your actual offer. So the solution, what's your offer? You're hitting the right person because it's just your old self, right? It's the who, the one you were. They can relate to every fucking thing that you do. And you know exactly what they need, so you create the exact solution with your unique selling point, and then you name it and you repeat it in your content. I'll get back to that, by the way, just to make it make more sense. But you name it, what's going to happen? People are going to associate the name with you, with your solution, with all your knowledge, and that's going to create kind of a cult. So people start buying into your program. They don't want any other program. They want you. This brings us to step number 3. How do you actually become the obvious choice? How do you become the person that they think, oh shit, I don't want to go to anyone else? For most coaches, they want to truly stand out. Like, they know that worse coaches are getting more clients than them, and they really want to get clients. So this is a 3-step process. It's first creating a filter, then it's fixing the content system, then repeating yourself. The filter, that's going to be your Instagram profile. So you have your profile picture, you have your bio, right? And when someone comes into your world here, when someone comes into your world, the first thing they're going to see is your Instagram profile. So it's very important that you have a bio that targets them specifically. So it should be like 3 steps. It should be who it's for. So who? It should be some credibility. Like, why should they listen to you? Why should they follow you? And it should be a CTA. That's all you need, basically. And that's going to make people follow you. So that's going to give you people into your world. And the best part is that, of course, the magnet method, what's that going to do? It's going to pull in the correct ICP, and it's also going to repel the wrong one. Because magnets do 2 things. It attracts and it repels, right? It's going to repel the anti-ICP. So you only get the right people into your profile. Now, why is this so important? Because what happens if it fills with the wrong person? If only your anti-ICP, or every single person, if you keep going viral and you don't have a proper filter, every single person starts following you, your DMs are going to get flooded with the wrong person. You're going to spend a ton of time on the wrong people. You're going to book a ton of calls with the wrong people. You're going to onboard a ton of the wrong people. It's going to be the biggest fucking energy drain. Your energy is going to disappear, like literally. And the focus, which is your biggest, like most important resource for sure as an entrepreneur, as an online coach, your focus is gone. You're going to focus on the complete wrong people. It's going to be a terrible experience, like knowing who actually buys. Like, how do you get your dream customer to buy when you just have no idea, because the data stream is flooded with the wrong data. I don't know if that makes sense, but basically you have to have the filter to make sure that when you attract people to your profile, it's the right people. So that's step 1. Now, step 2 is the actual content. So you know who the content is for. You know how you solve their problem. You have your solution, and you have actually named your solution as well. So for example, it could be stronger for life. That could be a name, like whatever, it's just an example. But now you need to actually fix the content system, because you have to enjoy creating content. It has to be low friction, but it also has to give you consistent clients. One of the biggest issues for most coaches, again, as I mentioned in the beginning, is that they don't get consistent leads. And because of that, they don't get the profit. They have high risk and things just doesn't work. The gears don't turn the way they should. But the content system is super easy. This is actually super easy. Now, look at this as a ladder. And on this ladder, you need to climb. This is the trust ladder. So for a new follower, they will be at the bottom of the trust ladder with 0 trust, basically. And they have to climb all the way to the top, and then they become a client where they have full trust. So the trust increases as they climb up the ladder, right? That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so to climb, of course, what you have to do, you have to use the ladder steps. Now, what most coaches do is that they have no idea what the ladder steps actually are, and they actually end up hitting correct on some of these. And the clients, they climb up, and then they come here, and suddenly the coach decides to remove all the ladder steps, and the person just falls all the way back down again, and maybe they even unfollow. Now, I know this doesn't make any sense right now, but it will. It will be very useful. You have to create all of the ladder steps. Now, the first step, this is just to get someone to follow you. So to get someone to actually become the follower, you just have to be consistent. If you're consistent posting, you're posting, like if you go into an account and you see people have posted every single day, it's going to increase the likelihood that you actually follow. And if you click the profile, you were already curious enough. And then if you see they're consistent with the same style of content, you're going to follow, basically. So that leads people to level 1. But level 1 is really cold. You're not going to get clients from level 1 at all. So level 2, to get to level 2, the ladder step is curiosity. Now, curiosity is an interesting thing because here you have to actually create the feeling that the person watching the content can relate to you. Now, this does not mean that people should post like lifestyle content, a ton of lifestyle content. No, it does not. The content should speak to, again, the who that we found earlier, your past self. It should speak to the pain points that you had in some sort of way. But the pain points, like say you have 3 to 5 pain points, you know from doing this, like their biggest problems, what their biggest problems was. Now you should create that into pain point 1, 2, and 3. The 3 biggest pain points. So for someone wanting to get strong, it could be struggling with nutrition. It could be not having enough progress in the gym. And it could be training for way too long, for example. Now, underneath that, you're going to create 3 to 5 topics that you can speak on. And these are going to be things that come directly from, for example, getting stronger in the gym. Okay, you need to eat enough protein. You need to make sure you rest enough. You need to train with the correct technique, whatever. That's topics. And then for each topic, you'll create 3 to 5 subtopics. So when you do this, you have 1, 2, 3 ideas, 3 topics you can speak about, plus you have 5 times 3, so 15, so 3 plus 15, that's 18. And then you have 5 times 5 times 3 as well. So that's going to be 75, I think. So you have 93 topics to speak about. Like, all of these 93 topics as well, they're going to make the person relate because it speaks directly to their pain points in some sort of way. And this could be showing your life in some sort of way, showing that you train correctly, showing that you eat correctly, like being out at a restaurant. It could be anything that they relate to. It could also be speaking directly to the pain or showing an exercise, how to do it. It could be walking through a 3-step process. But all of that, basically, is going to relate to the person. So that's going to spark curiosity. And the curiosity is making them climb to level 2. Now, how do they increase? The only way to move on now, is to make the person, the follower, feel fully understood. And feeling fully understood is about explaining their problem and providing a solution that they feel like is better explained than they could have ever done themselves. So they feel like you totally understand them in every single way, right? So when we make content that speaks to deeper pain, like explaining the emotions of the person, and this should be really easy, right? Because it's just our past self, so we know. How shit did I feel when I couldn't get stronger? Why did I feel shit? Did I focus only on technique, for example? Okay, they are going to feel like, oh shit, this guy is speaking out my mind. Like he's just saying every single thought that I have, explaining their pain, explaining how they feel, like making them relate even harder. Like you just continue making them relate is going to move them over to level 3. And then to make them go to level 4, because now you actually have influence over the person. You just make them an offer. Now they feel fully understood. They're really warm. They've gone from very cold to very warm. You make them an offer. And when you made them an offer, they're on level 4. And the last level, this could be, by the way, this could be just sending them, this comes from doing your DMs and posting like freebies on your stories, like long form content. Send me code word, and just being in your DMs, having conversations with people, and then seeing, okay, is this something you want help with? Could we do a call, basically? So you book a call, sales calls. And then they move over to level 4. And the only thing left now is for them to take a decision. Level 5, they are a client. So say worst case now, they decide no. They're just going to move back down to, for example, level 2 or to level 3. It just means that they weren't ready to take the next ladder step. They just weren't 100% ready. And here again, they're not back to square one anyways, because they are probably the correct ICP, the correct client, because you have your filter, the content speaks to their pain points every single time. They're just going to move a bit back down the ladder. But now comes the biggest mistake of all, and this is about repeating. Now, what do I mean when I say repeating? I told you that some coaches just remove the ladder steps, and what happens if the ladder steps disappear? You just slide down the ladder, like people do in cartoons, right? Now, the second you swap either the pain points you speak to or the solution, so again, the solution we've created, the unique solution, the offer, if we swap any of that, suddenly I go from saying get fucking strong with only compounds to say get fucking strong with only steroids. What's gonna happen? Every single person that I have built, that's an extreme example, but every single person that I have built trust with, the ladder is gone. They're gonna fall down to the bottom, and they're not gonna go to 0. They're gonna lose trust. They're gonna go to -1. They're going to unfollow you, and they're probably never going to listen to you ever again. Just because you swapped the solution. They don't feel fully understood. They don't feel like they can relate anymore. Because the solution just doesn't make any sense. The pain points you're speaking on suddenly. Like instead of getting, this is another example, like I did with my content. Instead of speaking of getting stronger, I started speaking of losing weight. Then the pain points changed. And the solution changed. The ladder, they probably went to fucking -10. Like, I lost so many clients on that. I don't know how many people was at level 4 already. Was ready to just get an offer and make a decision, right? I don't know that. But after swapping, we didn't get any clients for a very long time. And that's because of this. People just fell down the ladder. No trust. That's the most important thing of all. You have to repeat this. When you know the pain points, you know the 93 things you have to speak about, and you know the solution, just keep creating content, every single piece of content, like reels, long form, carousels, posts, story sequences, all of these different, and even ads, all of these different things. Keep fucking repeating yourself. And I can promise you, like I did as well, you remember this period, like we did this period with 30 days in a row. We posted the same fucking shit. Mm-hmm. In every single one of these videos, I said the same thing. I was like, the solution is having a plan perfect for your life, so you like what you do, so it fits with your busy family life, and it gives you great results, so it's motivating. I said that every single time. And people heard it 1, 2, and then 30 times. And at the end of it, the interesting thing is that we got like our record month. And then I switched my content. I thought, I want to do something different. I'm fucking bored of speaking of this. And then we switched the content, and what happened? No clients, almost no clients. And then again, I did 30 days with the same topic again, with repeating the same solution, with the same pain points every single time. And again, a new record month. And I don't understand how I didn't understand this back at that time. But it was because I repeated myself for 30 times. I built trust 30 times. So you can look at this like a battery. Every new follower will start at 0% and you want to get them to 100%. That's where they buy. Every single time you post something, it's going to add 1 to 3%. That goes for stories, for ads, for whatever. And for me, I posted the same thing 30 times in a row. Not the same thing, but the same, like, again, pain points and solution. And I did stories as well, so that's going to add 1% extra every single day as well. So most people just got moved all the way down to 100%. And then I swapped it again, and I probably had a ton of people here that were almost ready to buy, but they didn't. Because what? Because I swapped it, right? So they went straight back. We probably lost out on like 100K, but whatever. We learned. That's the most important part. And what's interesting about all of this is that when you basically have your filter, you have your content system, and you repeat yourself, that's when everything changes. That's because now you know who you want to target, how you help them, you have your uniqueness, you have your offer named, so you're building a cult, You have your filter with your profile, and you have your organic content system. You have your Instagram ads, which you make, by the way, in the exact same way. I'm going to explain that now. In the exact same way, you speak to a pain point with your solution. So the pain points, the main pain points of your client with your solution, not the demographic, just the pain with your unique solution. And you make that direct to profile. Very easy. You can make it direct to profile, and you can make it direct to DMs. Let's see, let's clean this up. Make it direct to profile, and then people come into your profile. You're going to post freebies on your stories. To post long-form content, people are going to send you messages directly from watching your content, as well as from retargeting ads, from seeing freebies, and you're going to get inbound messages from retargeting ads. These are just messenger ads, very simple. Then they come into your DMs. You just see if they're qualified or not. You see if they're ready for a call. If not, send them a freebie, a long-form asset. Again, something that speaks to their pain point with your solution. And if they've had a call, you can DM close. If not, you go to call scheduled. You either close them or not. And again, if they don't close, they just move back down. Let's see, they just move back down the ladder. It's not that deep. They will come back. They will come back unless there were a completely wrong fit. And then you should look at how you even got a call with them in the first place. Is there something wrong with your profile, basically? But then you get the clients into your profile, and you have your dream clients. You love to work with them. And not only that, you love to produce the content that you create as well. Love the content because you're authentic, you're speaking in your voice. You're not making the mistake that I did. Do not speak to the old me, to try to find my niche instead. And the end result of all of this, of course, is going to end in not money down. You're going to get a shit ton more clients in. So clients, money, freedom, all of these go up, and your risk is going to go down because now you're not spending as much on ads because your content is actually doing heavy lifting for you. You know how to do this on your own because you have a simple content system, just posting based on pain with your solution. With every piece of content that you create, you get predictable clients in with which again reduces risk. So there's so many ups to this. And I know like a lot of coaches think that this is something that will take a shit ton of time. But the thing is, most coaches just skip this. And that's the reason they hate content. That's the reason content takes so much time to get right. That's the reason they spend so much time trying to get more clients rather than attracting the correct client in the first place. When you have your magnetic content system, your magnetic method in place, people are going to come to you. You're going to get the correct client pulled in. And your magnet is always going to be working. Like a magnet doesn't turn off and on. So you'll always attract clients. It's always going to happen, right? And you can spend more time on doing the things that you actually enjoy as well. And you're also going to enjoy the content, which is crazy. And then the last thing is like, what I would think at least, is that this is something where I have to go viral or have to like do crazy hooks and stuff like that. But it's not, again, it's really simple. You don't have to post a shit ton, spend a ton of time, and you don't have to go viral. You just have to speak consistently on the pain points. Both of our record months came on the back of, look at these videos. 10 likes, 12 likes, all of this, and I think we closed to 20K in 10 days or something like that after this. 20K in 10 days. I had 26 inbound messages in 2 days. You don't need views. You just literally need to speak to the pain points and provide a solution. So that's the one-on-one on how to do it. And of course, we help coaches with this now, as you very well know. And yeah, to anyone watching, it's like, if you want help with this, just go to my Instagram. I've linked it below. It's a very new account at the moment, by the way, but we have people that we help. It's called Founder System. I help them one-on-one with producing their magnetic content system, having the magnetic method into their business to love content, to attract more clients, and to build a total ecosystem that works for them. And yeah, we have every single resource that you need inside there. So if you want, you could book a call beneath the video, or you could go to my Instagram, ask me whatever you need to ask me, and yeah, we'll take it from there.